Hey guys, Ignocia here. Today we're going to talk about Demonology with the Lycian Trinket. I'm going to talk about how the opener changes, how the whole playstyle changes, how your stat changes, and how your gear priority changes. The reason you want to go Demonology when you have this trinket is that as soon as you have it, Demonology will beat the two other Warlock specs. When you don't have it, Demonology is a bit weaker than Affliction. But also Demonology is really fun to play when you have this trinket because there's way more things to take care of, and yeah, I just like the spec totally with this playstyle. So what we're gonna go over in this guide is the opener, the changes to the playstyle in total, stat changes, gear priority changes, talent and glyph changes, and then I don't think there's anything else to it. So I hope you enjoy. Okay, so we're gonna start with the opener. First of all, I want to talk about Doom. As you know, every time Doom crits, you will get one Wild Imp, which does about 1 million damage in its full duration. It shoots like 10 times, and it has like 2 seconds between each shoot, something. Um, and the Lycian Trinket does so that you get 100% crit, as you know. So when you apply Doom, every time your Doom ticks, you will get one Imp, which will deal massive damage. Now, you want to make sure that you can apply Doom twice when Lycian Trinket procs, so that you can have the full benefit of Pandemic. But the Lycian Trinket only lasts for 4 seconds, so you want to make sure that you're doing the opener totally perfect. Now, I found this macro in one of Sparkhook's videos, but I think it's lacking a bit. There's some things about it in Sparkhook's macro that doesn't really work. It's not optimal, so I changed it a bit. Here's the macro that I use. You basically just spam it until it has applied Doom twice, and then you go back to your normal rotation. I'm just gonna show you how I'm doing the opener basically. So, and as usual, I'm not doing fighting. So, okay, so that was the opener. Now, look at this. I have a lot of imps still after my Imp Swarm has run out. And they're pretty much hitting the target pretty hard. And every time my Doom ticks, as you can see, I get one extra imp. This imp has a chance to grant me extra Molten Core procs, and they regen a lot of my Demon Fury. As you can see, I'm not doing anything, yet I get like a lot of Demon Fury. So this is really good. Like, the trinket is so amazing for Demonology. As soon as you get it, you should go Demo. So yeah, as you can see, just enjoy the Doom taking and your imp spawning, just doing massive damage, as you can see here. It's pretty damn OP. Now I just wanna like explain what talents and glyphs I take and why I take them. We start with talents. Basically, I take the same talents. You want to take Grimoire of Service until you are full best in slot, full upgraded, which means like 550 eye level. And at that point, you want to take Grimoire of Sacrifice. If you plan to play Demonology throughout the whole raid, like whole TOT, you want to play with Grimoire of Sacrifice on, for example, Council, because if you can apply Doom on more than one target, then Grimoire of Sacrifice becomes better because it increases the damage of your imps. On Council, it's really great to play Demo with this trinket because you can apply 100% crit Doom on all 4 bosses, and you will get like 100 imps just raping your DPS. I mean, it's so good. For glyphs, you of course, as usual, want to take Glyph of Imp Swarm, but also you want to take Glyph of Everlasting Affliction. so that your Doom lasts longer and will spawn more imps, and in case your trinket doesn't proc too often, it's pretty good to have some extra duration. Considering corruption doesn't do too much damage, it's not that big of a DPS loss on your dots. Um, so yeah, that's basically it for the glyphs and talents. Now let's talk about the changes to the playstyle in total. Um, the first change is that when the Lycian trinket procs, you wanna apply Doom, even if if your Doom still have like 30-second duration or something. You wanna apply it because in case your Doom runs out and you don't get any more Lycian trinket procs, pretty much fucked. So as soon as it procs, you wanna apply Doom. Now, how to make sure that you're able to apply Doom every time is that when you enter Metamorphosis, you'll get a 10-second cooldown on Metamorphosis. That means you will stay in Metamorphosis until that 10-second cooldown is over. You will not go out of Metamorphosis. So that means you should not go into Metamorphosis unless you're totally sure that you can stay in Metamorphosis for 10 seconds while DPSing. And this is really, really important, because if you miss out on a proc, you can be fucked for the rest of the fight. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same with meta weaving and shit. If you want to meta weave into meta still, then you may want to make sure that you can stay in meta for more than 10 seconds after your meta weave. I would recommend still doing meta weave, but without the meta form, and then just like 2 Hand of Gul'dan, and then as soon as your off trinket procs, in my case it's Breath the Hydra, you want to burn all your demonic fury on that 20 seconds, because yeah, your imps is generating so much fury, so you should like pull it up to 900. If you don't have your weapon chant proc or anything, just burn like 200 fury for 10 seconds and then pull it up again. As soon as you got something proccing, then burn all your demonic fury down to 200. You don't want to be under 200 because you want to be able to enter meta and apply Doom. That's basically the changes to the playstyle. And you want to make sure that you play like this because, yeah, as said, you can be really fucked if you have cooldown on Metamorphosis while your Lycian trinket is rolling. So, yeah. Now let's talk about how stat changes when you get this trinket. The stat doesn't really change because you get it. The stat changes on a weekly basis basically for all specs, but right now, in my case, I'm just balancing haste and mastery as much as I can. So I'm going for 10k haste and 10k mastery as good as I can. I don't give a fuck about breakpoints anymore because I think it's better to just balance it. Like, as you can see, almost 10k haste, almost 9k mastery. So yeah, just balance it out between those two stats. Yeah, there's nothing really special about stats anymore for Demonology, in my opinion. Maybe it's like a 50 DPS increase if you go for some breakpoint, but you're not gonna see 50 DPS extra on your locks. In that case, it's more to how good you play than how your stats are. So you just want to go for like balance your stats, and then you want to focus more on how you play instead of your stats, in my opinion. Because yeah, obviously, the most people who does low DPS, it's not because of how they do their stats, it's because of how they play. So yeah, min-maxing is, in my opinion, not that important for Demonology currently. It probably will be later on, but yeah, that's basically it for the stats. So yeah, that was basically it for me, guys. I hope you enjoyed this little guide, and I hope you find it helpful. Comment, rate, and subscribe. As usual, I will answer every comment as good as I can. So yeah, uh, that's basically it for me. See you guys.